sound of gentle, reassuring music. You are meticulous about your health. You follow the doctor's orders. Every morning you reach for that little orange bottle. You take your statin. You feel a quiet confidence that you are protecting your heart. You believe you are doing everything right. For many of us over 60, statins are a cornerstone of long-term health. They are the essential shield against the silent danger of high cholesterol and heart disease. They are designed to work consistently, day after day, keeping those dangerous numbers in check. But what if all that effort, all that discipline, was being quietly undone? What if one single common ingredient, something you might consider perfectly safe or even healthy, was actively canceling out your most important prescription? This is not a theoretical warning. This is a critical medication safety alert that every single person taking cholesterol medication needs to hear right now. The interaction we are discussing is surprisingly common. It is potent, and it hides in plain sight, usually in your spice rack, your tea cupboard, or the drawer where you keep your daily supplements. We often assume that prescription drugs and herbal remedies live in separate worlds. We believe that if something is natural or has been used for centuries, it must be harmless. This assumption is dangerous, especially when dealing with powerful pharmaceuticals like statins. In the world of internal medicine, these interactions are known as cytochrome P450 interference. That technical term just means that your liver, the body's main chemical processing plant, gets confused. Think of your liver like a single kitchen sink. When you take your statin, the liver dedicates a specific enzyme, a molecular sponge, to break down that drug at a very controlled speed. This speed is vital for maintaining the right level of medication in your blood. Now, imagine you introduce a common herbal supplement. Suddenly, that supplement shows up at the sink and demands the same sponge. The herb and the statin start competing for the liver's limited attention. In many cases, the common herb wins. It hogs the enzyme. This has two immediate disastrous outcomes for your heart health. The first outcome: the statin is not broken down correctly. It lingers too long in your bloodstream. This can cause toxic levels of the drug to build up, leading to severe side effects like muscle pain, deep tissue damage, or worse, liver failure. This risk is serious, but it is often easier to detect because the side effects can be alarming. The second outcome, and perhaps the most frightening, is far more silent and far more insidious. The herb overstimulates the liver's enzymes. It essentially installs a high-speed industrial drain in your sink. The statin you took this morning is now flushed out of your system much too quickly. It never reaches the therapeutic level required to do its job. The result: the statin has been canceled. You believe you are protected, but the drug is ineffective. You are taking a pill that is doing nothing to lower your dangerous LDL cholesterol. This silent sabotage is the hidden crisis facing thousands of Americans over the age of 60. You are diligent. You schedule your blood work. You watch your diet. But while you are doing all the right things, one simple green ingredient is quietly elevating your risk of a cardiac event. You won't feel this interaction. You won't have sudden chest pain. Instead, months later, your doctor will look at your blood panel and frown. Your LDL numbers, the bad cholesterol, will have crept up, sometimes dramatically. The doctor will assume the statin dosage needs to be increased. They might add a second medication. But the problem isn't the statin's strength. The problem is the interaction that is wasting your effort and wasting your time. When heart health is concerned, we do not have time to waste. There is still time to fix this. But first, you must identify the hidden culprit. This one specific herb is often promoted as a powerful anti-inflammatory. It is marketed for digestive health, and it is a popular staple in many healthy-sounding detoxes and smoothies. It feels good, it tastes good, and because it's natural, it flies under the radar of serious medication discussions. It is often forgotten entirely when patients list their supplements for their physicians, but its chemical structure directly targets the metabolic pathway responsible for processing Atorvastatin, Simvastatin, and Lovastatin, three of the most widely prescribed statins in the world. If you are taking Zocor, Lipitor, or Mevacor, you need to know exactly where this common item is hiding. We are going to walk through the exact mechanics of this common drug interaction and reveal the one herb that poses the greatest risk to your statin effectiveness. We will look inside your kitchen and your medicine cabinet to identify this common item, but before we do that, we need to understand exactly what happens inside your body when medication fails. Soft bridge music begins. When your doctor prescribed that statin, they gave you a powerful tool. It is your defense against a silent enemy, high cholesterol. To fully grasp the danger of mixing it with this common herb, you must first understand the mechanism. How exactly does that little pill protect you every morning? Think of your liver as your body's main cholesterol factory. Statins are not designed to remove cholesterol that is already floating in your blood. Their primary job is to slow down the factory's production line. They inhibit a specific enzyme that tells your liver to synthesize or create more of the bad cholesterol, the LDL. By turning down the volume on that production line, the level of dangerous plaque-building LDL in your blood drops significantly. This process is highly delicate. The required dose is calibrated perfectly for your body weight, your age, and your existing health status. It is a precise equation. Now, step back and look at the herb. Most people assume if an herb is natural, it simply moves through the body without much fuss. This assumption is the foundation of the critical safety error we must address today. Your liver does not only manufacture cholesterol, it is also the body's ultimate filtration and cleanup center. It processes everything you ingest: food, alcohol, vitamins, and yes, every single medication. To handle this massive task, the liver uses a complex network of highly specialized cleanup tools. We call these tools enzymes. These enzymes decide when a drug is broken down, how long it stays active, and when it is flushed out of the system. When you take your statin, these enzymes know exactly how to handle it. They ensure the statin stays active just long enough to perform its cholesterol-lowering task before they begin the essential process of eliminating it. This is where the catastrophic interference begins. The common herb we are warning you about does not just ask the liver to process it, it aggressively hijacks those critical cleanup tools. It monopolizes the enzymes that your statin relies on to be metabolized properly. When the statin enters your liver, it finds those essential enzymes already tied up by the herb you took perhaps hours earlier. The statin cannot be broken down and eliminated on schedule. The immediate result is terrifying because it happens completely silently. The concentration of the statin in your bloodstream begins to skyrocket. It is as if you suddenly tripled your prescribed dose, even though you only took one pill. You went to bed thinking you had taken a protective 10 milligram dose. You wake up with the toxicity levels of a 30 milligram dose raging through your system. This dramatically amplified level of medication rapidly increases the risk of serious side effects that are uncommon in properly dosed patients, but extremely dangerous when the concentration spikes. Your heart protection has been turned into a potential poison. The most crucial warning signs involve muscle pain and liver distress. Since the statin levels are so high, they can begin to damage muscle fibers, a condition called myopathy. If you suddenly experience unexplained, deep, persistent muscle aches, especially in your legs, arms, or shoulders, pay immediate attention. This is not just typical aging discomfort or a bad night's sleep. This is a red flag signaling potential statin toxicity. We are not talking about a subtle cramp. We mean debilitating muscle weakness or pain that interferes with your daily walking or grasping objects. Another major silent indicator is liver stress. Remember, the liver is overwhelmed and cannot process the drug. Symptoms of liver trouble often feel like non-specific malaise. You might feel constant unusual fatigue that rest does not fix. You might experience nausea or loss of appetite. If you notice a yellowing of your skin or eyes, jaundice, that is an absolute medical emergency requiring immediate attention. But often, the signs are subtle until the damage is advanced. This is why knowing the cause of the interaction is essential. This common herb is not some exotic root found only overseas. It is incredibly prevalent. It is likely sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. Many seniors rely on it daily for common ailments. This supplement is often marketed as a natural aid for digestion, sometimes used to help with mild mood imbalances, or even advertised for its purported memory-boosting qualities. It is easily accessible at any grocery or health store. We will name this specific herb and detail exactly how much time must pass between taking it and your statin to maintain safety in the next part. But first, we must examine the full risk spectrum. What happens if the interaction isn't just spiking the drug levels, but actually canceling the statin entirely? And what are the latest alternatives doctors are recommending to patients who simply cannot stop taking this supplement? Stay with us. We will discuss the full danger zone right after this brief pause. We have established that one specific, very common herb completely undermines the power of your statin medication. It forces your body to eliminate the drug faster than it can work. That dangerous culprit is St. John's wort. Perhaps you know it as a natural mood booster. Maybe you bought it for mild anxiety or to help with sleep. It is marketed as all natural, and it sits right on the shelf next to your vitamins. But if you are on a cholesterol-lowering statin, particularly common ones like Simvastatin or Atorvastatin, St. John's wort can be a direct path toward treatment failure. This is not a slight reduction in effect. This is a dramatic cancellation. Let's look closer at how this hidden sabotage actually happens inside your liver. Your liver is a miraculous filter. It contains special cleanup workers, enzymes, designed to break down toxins and drugs so your body can safely get rid of them. The most important cleanup crew for statins is called CYP3A4. Think of CYP3A4 as the liver's main trash chute. When you take your statin, the drug travels to the liver. The CYP3A4 enzyme grabs the statin, processes it, and sends it out of your system. This is normal drug metabolism. St. John's wort, however, acts as a powerful alarm system for this specific enzyme. When St. John's wort enters your body, it signals the liver to massively increase the production of the CYP3A4 enzyme. It is like telling the cleanup crew that 1,000 times more trash is coming. They ramp up operations instantly. The result is massive enzyme induction. Suddenly, your liver has a hyper-efficient, sped-up disposal system running at 10 times the speed it should be. When your statin drug arrives, instead of being broken down slowly over a bilateral controlled period, it is instantly grabbed by this now overactive CYP3A4 crew. It is metabolized and flushed out almost immediately. The statin does not stay in your bloodstream long enough to do its job. It doesn't stick around long enough to lower your bad cholesterol, the LDL. You are diligently taking your pill every day, believing you are protected, but the medication is essentially leaving your body unused. Imagine a critical pump designed to keep water out of your basement, but someone accidentally installed a switch that automatically turns the pump off every time it detects a certain smell. You think the pump is running, but the water level keeps rising. This is the hidden danger of St. John's wort. We see patients come into the clinic years after starting their statins, and their cholesterol numbers, which were perfectly managed, have suddenly spiked back up to dangerous levels. Their physician might increase the statin dose, but that still doesn't solve the problem if the enzyme is flushing out the drug too quickly. This is the hidden frustration. You followed the instructions, you took your medication, yet the numbers show failure. If you are taking St. John's wort for mild depression or mood issues, and you are also on a statin, you are effectively paying for a treatment that is not working. You are leaving your heart and arteries vulnerable. It is crucial to understand that St. John's wort is so powerful that this interaction can last even after you stop taking the herb. It takes time for the liver to calm down and reduce the number of these hyperactive enzymes. If you suspect you are taking St. John's wort, or any similar supplement marketed for mood, you must notify your doctor immediately. Do not abruptly stop the statin, but you must discuss how to safely taper off the herbal product and monitor your cholesterol levels closely. This conversation should apply to every over-the-counter product you use. Do not assume natural means safe. Think about the sheer number of capsules you take daily. Many seniors are managing 5, 8, or even 10 different medications and supplements. It is easy to forget to mention a simple vitamin or an herbal remedy you started 6 months ago. But in the context of statin therapy, that small, forgotten capsule can negate months, even years of careful treatment. We have focused heavily on St. John's wort because it is the most critical example of a supplement that cancels statin effectiveness by radically speeding up its exit ramp. But the story doesn't end there. There are other common foods and supplements that interact with your statin in the opposite, equally dangerous way. These substances don't speed up the cleanup crew. They block the cleanup crew completely. They jam the filter. When the filter is jammed, the statin builds up too much in your body, leading to toxic levels and severe side effects like muscle pain and liver damage. In our final segment, we will address the common food item found in nearly every senior kitchen that can create this dangerous backlog and reveal how you can safely adjust your diet and supplement routine to protect your heart health and ensure your statin is working perfectly without risking your safety. If you recognize St. John's wort in your cabinet, the immediate next step is critical. Stopping this herb requires a focused conversation with your doctor. Remember, St. John's wort is powerful. It doesn't just slow down your statin, it often speeds up the machinery in your liver that completely dismantles the statin drug. It is like sending a vital letter through a machine that immediately shreds it before it reaches its destination. Your dose is essentially canceled. This interaction is why your cholesterol numbers may be creeping up, even though you are completely compliant with your prescription. The immediate consequence of this interaction is a silent setback. Your statin is designed to protect arteries from damage right now, today. When its effectiveness is eliminated, that daily protection disappears. Your body requires time to reverse the effects of St. John's wort. It needs time to slow down that hyperactive shredding mechanism in your liver. For many people, it can take up to 2 weeks after stopping St. John's wort for the liver enzyme activity to return to normal levels. You must treat the discontinuation of this herb as seriously as you would starting a new medication. Never assume you can just toss the bottle and everything returns to normal instantly. You need a clear action plan provided by your prescribing physician. The priority must be getting accurate recent blood work. If you suspect you are taking St. John's wort concurrently with your statin, you need to ask your doctor for a follow-up lipid panel within 4 to 6 weeks. This blood test is your accountability check. It will confirm whether your statin is finally working at the prescribed dosage now that the interference has been removed. If you stop the herb and your numbers drop dramatically, you have found the culprit. You have stabilized your heart protection. But what if you weren't taking St. John's wort? What if the interference is coming from a different, less commonly known source? This is where the conversation with your healthcare provider must shift from suspicion to comprehensive review. We have revealed one major interaction today, but the truth is, your medication safety is a continuous process of inventory management. Every 6 months, take a moment to look closely at every single thing you consume that is not whole food or water. Pull out the pill organizers, the herbal teas, the energy shots, the vitamin C tablets, the calcium chews, and the little tinctures your friend recommended. Take that entire collection, every bottle, every label, and bring it into the examination room with you. Do not just tell the nurse what you take. Show them the actual bottles. This simple act bypasses 2 crucial risks: misremembering the exact dose and forgetting a supplement altogether. You might forget that turmeric supplement you only take when your knee hurts, but that occasional dose could contain ingredients that alter how your statin is absorbed. If you are feeling well and your cholesterol numbers are excellent, you might assume you are safe. But feeling well does not mean your internal chemistry is balanced. The tragedy of cardiovascular disease is that it is often silent. There are no flashing red lights when your LDL begins to rise. There is no sharp pain when your arteries begin hardening again. This is the dangerous space between feeling good and being truly protected. It is critical that you use this powerful warning about St. John's wort not as a final answer, but as the launchpad for total pharmaceutical vigilance. Do not treat supplements as optional extras that exist outside your medical file. They are active drugs, even if derived from plants. They must be declared. They must be logged. They must be managed. Think of your annual checkup not just as a time to check your weight or blood pressure, but as a mandatory safety review of your entire pill inventory. If you do this, you take back control. You move from being a passive patient to being the empowered manager of your own health portfolio. There is still time to protect your heart, but that protection begins with knowledge, and more importantly, with action. Do not wait for your next scheduled appointment. If you suspect an interaction based on what you have learned today, pick up the phone, make the call, ask for the blood work, be proactive. If you are unsure where to start the conversation, use this phrase. Doctor, I am reviewing my entire supplement regimen, and I need you to cross-check everything I am taking against my current statin prescription. This is your mission now: transparency and follow-up. This detailed look into statin safety should remind us all that managing heart health is a complex, continuous process that requires lifelong learning and vigilance. But the good news is, every single step you take to increase your safety and knowledge now contributes to years of healthy, vibrant life ahead. Take the knowledge you've gained about this common herb and use it to safeguard every medication you take, starting today.